right? So the load duration curve, in the sense what we discussed in yesterday's session, simply the curve should be followed with on x-axis with respect to time, and y-axis it should be variation of the loads. I will share the white screen, 1 second. Right. So what we discussed in last session: feeder, distributor, service mains, followed by the load modeling and characteristics. Nothing but what does it meant by the demand and the demand interval. The demand interval generally we will consider in between what is the time period we need to consider. Generally it should be 15 to half an hour, nothing but 30 minutes. So this could be obtained by our load duration curve. What does it meant by the load duration curve? Or we can also call that as a daily demand curve. How the load should be getting varied with respect to time over a specified period of time. That means when the on-load peak demand should be going to present, when off-peak load should be going to present, everything we need to make the analysis part from this load duration curve. That means we need to consider the total time period, nothing but 8,760, that is your 365 days multiplied with the 24 hours. Let us, I will draw an example of load duration curve. On x-axis we need to consider the time, y-axis variation of the load with respect to the time. Let us start from 12 a.m. onwards to some variation, 2, 4, 6, these all are hours, 8, 10, 12, this is 12 noon, and followed by 2, 4, 6 up to again 12, 12 to 12, nothing but 24 hours. So how the load should be getting varied in generally during the night times, it should be very much lesser, and the wave should be goes on increase when it should be reaches the evening time, that is after 4 or 5 o'clock up to the night 11 o'clock or 10 to 11 in between that. So the maximum peak load should be appeared on this case. So how much time it should be going to present? So everything we need to go for the analysis part. This kind of curve is called load duration curve or daily demand curve. We can also call this as daily demand variation curve. That means simply it is a function of demand intervals. This curve we can draw either by daily purpose, or we can go for month, that is monthly purpose, or it can be take the analysis part for the complete annual year. Okay, that means annual year in the sense we need to go for 8,760 hours during the complete 1 year, right? Then that will be, we can simply call that as load duration curve for 1 year, right, on annual basis. If it is a daily basis, we can call that as a for 24 hours, right? So from this load duration curve, how can what are the parameters we can get that? The maximum demand, what does it mean by the maximum demand? Simply the maximum load that can be going to occur in a specified time period, right? The maximum load that can be going to occur in a specified time period. Note down the definitions of these simple side headings so that it should be easy for you to write your examination. Note down all of you the definitions. Maximum demand, very important. Since these all are one to one interrelated, the maximum demand should be interrelated with the demand factor, right? And the connected load, the utilization factor, again it is linked with maximum demand. Okay, the load factors, diversity factors. So all are interrelated components. So that we can start with the word maximum demand. So demand already we studied in last class, right? What does it mean by demand? Simply the power required for the load, right? For a specified period of time. Nothing but simply the load it will be going to consider, either it will be kilowatt like that, right? How much power it is getting required, that is we can simply call that as a demand. Now the maximum demand in the sense the maximum load, nothing but kilowatts, the maximum load that can occur in a specified time period. The maximum load that occurs in a specified period of time is called your maximum demand. Again, the format, the duration of for taking these maximum demand should be same as your load duration curve. You can take from daily basis or weekly basis, right, or annual basis. But as per our wish, we can go to consider this maximum demand. Generally, when we will consider this in our country in India, it should be calculated as a monthly basis, right? And that should be in terms of either in kVA for our electricity bill generation purpose. Okay. If you want to mention, you can mention as a note. Under that note, you have to write it down. In our India or in our country, generally we can calculate this monthly basis because of billing purpose. The next one, demand factor. These all are you are already studied in your power systems. But here again, the syllabus is revised, so you need to revise it once again, all the parameters. But try to focus more to make perfect. So, what does it mean by the demand factor? It is the ratio of the maximum demand to total connected load. Sorry, total connected load. Demand factor, it is the ratio of maximum demand to total connected load. So if demand factor is very much lesser, right, what should going to happen? What does it indicates that if demand factor is lower the value, then automatically the system capacity we require to serve the connected load is lesser, right? Try to understand more. If the demand factor is lower value, in the sense that means some 30%, 40%, or 20%, or 10%, that means always the important point you need to remember is demand factor is always less than 1. Okay, so always less than 1. But if it should be very much lesser, that is very much lower value, the demand factor, what does it indicating? That the maximum demand is very much lesser, simply, right? That means the system capacity required to serve the connected load is lesser. If the utilization, that is the maximum demand, is very much lesser, then automatically what should going to happen? The requirement to serve the connected load is also very much less, right? So the demand factor is lower the value, the system capacity to serve the connected load is decrease or simply less. Okay, understand the maximum demand, low duration curve, demand factor. Shall we take one example for better understanding? We will take one example for demand factor, one real time example. See, if our residence is having some 6,000 watt equipment, nothing but 6 kilowatt. Okay, fine. Let us think as an example. Here I will telling that if our residence is having 6 kilowatt equipment, right, connected to a maximum demand of 300 watts. The total connected load is 6000 watts or 6 kilowatts. Okay, either 6000 watts or 6 kilowatts is the my residence total load, but it should having maximum demand of 300 watts. Then what about demand factor at this scale, at this condition? Tell me the value of demand factor now. Sorry, ma, this is not 300. This is 3300. Let us take some 3300 or 3000.
0.5, sir.
Right. So it should be around 0.5. Correct. So it should be getting understood to all of you, the demand factor. So what does it indicating that when the demand factor is lower, the system capacity to serve the connected load is very much lesser. Right. Then we will go for next. Then here I have some little bit doubt. What does it mean by the connected load? Is it all of you clear? Connected load, maximum demand I explained. So this maximum demand to the connected load. So what does it mean by connected load? Simply the sum of the continuous rating of all equipments which are connected to our system. Right? If anyone having any confusion on that, you can write a single statement for connected load. The sum of continuous rating, the sum of continuous rating of all equipments which are connected to our system, which are connected to our system. Right, done. So maximum demand in the sense the units are same as your connected load. So therefore the demand factor, is there any units for the demand factor? The name itself is a factor, but again we need to recollect it. The both numerator and the denominator should be having the same units. So therefore the demand factor has no units. You can keep the side heading. The next definition, utilization factor. Or wait, hold a minute. There is a diversity factor will be there after demand factor. Take the side heading, diversity factor. These both are very much interrelated. Diversity factor. Diversity factor. Note down the definition. The ratio of sum of individual maximum demand, sum of individual maximum demand to maximum demand of on complete power station, maximum demand on complete power station or complete system, sum of individual maximum demands of different subdivisions. No need to confuse. In a complete power station we are having around 4 to 5 units, right? So each unit will be having its own maximum demand, right? Those sum of all the maximum demands of the individual subdivisions of the system, that should be getting divided with the complete maximum demand of entire power station. Right, try to understand, very important. Demand factor and diversity factor both are opposite in nature. Okay, the sum of individual maximum demands of various subdivisions, you can write in clear, subdivisions of a system to the maximum demand of complete power system or complete power station. Right? Understand no? The diversity factor. So simply we can call it as an installed load by the running load. We can also call it as installed load by the running load. So since it is a different from your demand factor, what is the case in the demand factor? It should be always less than 1, whereas in diversity factor it should be greater than 1. Generally it should be greater than 1. Why it is greater than 1? Any idea? See the formula here. The numerator, the sum of individual maximum demand, right? Sum of individual maximum demand in the sense that should be always greater than the complete maximum demand of the power station, right? See here, this numerator is always greater when compared to the denominator. So that's the reason we are having generally the diversity factor should be greater than the unity, right? Generally the load should be on what parameter it should be going to depend with respect to time, what we seen in the load duration curve, right? And also it should be going to depend on the characteristics of the corresponding equipment, right? Am I able to follow the demand factor and the diversity factor? If greater the diversity factor, what should going to happen? If greater diversity factor, if greater diversity factor, what is the component need to affect? The cost of generation will be going to lesser. Greater the diversity factor, the cost of generation of the power should be generation of power. You can write generation of the power should be going to reduce. Why it should be going to reduce? Can anyone? If diversity factor is increasing, that is it always beyond 1. If it is furthermore increases, what does it means? That the individual maximum demands are increasing, and that will be indicating that the maximum demand is increasing or decreasing.
Increasing, sir.
Right. Individual maximum demands of different subdivisions of that complete system is increasing the sum of the value, whereas the maximum demand is decreasing. See, the maximum demand is decreasing in the sense, what is the formula of our demand factor? Check once. See, the numerator is maximum demand. See, in the diversity factor, if the maximum demand in the denominator is decreasing, then what about here the maximum demand? Decreasing. So what about demand factor is increasing or decreasing? Try to
Decreases.
right, very good. So try to interrelate this demand factor and diversity factor, right? So when the demand factor is increasing, the sum of the individual maximum demands of the various subdivisions of the system is increasing, right? When the numerator is increasing, obviously the denominator, the maximum demand of complete power station will be goes on decrease. That again reflects on the demand factor maximum demand as a numerator. So that will indicating the demand factor is decreasing when diversity factor is increases, right? So try to catch that point. That should be very much important for the competitive examinations. The relation between demand factor and diversity factor. That should be very much important while you are analyzing the classification of the loads. What we are having the different category of the loads like domestic, commercial, agricultural, right? These different kind of loads what we are having in our regular life. For that each load, we need to get the demand factor value and the diversity factor value and load factor. So based on these factors, we can going to analyze whether that load should be feasible to our power system or not. It should be going to disturb the system or not. So everything we need to make the analysis by using these different kind of the factors. Right? Understood? Next
Sir,
factor.
once again explain the relation between demand factor.
Yeah, yes,
Sir,
yes. I will take the new slide and I will explain. See the diversity factor. What is the formula? Diversity factor, sum of maximum demands of various subdivisions by here I am writing m dot d, the maximum demand of complete system or power station, complete power station. This is the subdivisions. What is demand factor formula? Maximum demand by total connected load. Okay. Now what I'm saying that what the basic indication was that diversity factor should be always greater than 1 and demand factor is always less than 1. Already we seen why it is greater than 1, why it is less than 1. Already we taken one example for demand factor 2, right? We got some 0.5. Now here, how we can relate the demand factor and diversity factor? See, in the numerator of the diversity factor, if the sum of the maximum demands of various subdivisions is increases, right? So what is the factor of the diversity factor, increase or decrease? Surely it will be increase. So both are increasing in the sense, obviously it should be lesser value, the maximum demand of the complete system, while compared with the sum of maximum demands of various subdivisions. During that case, if maximum demand is decreasing, the same. For that system only I'm analyzing. For that system now I'm analyzing the demand factor. So maximum demand is reducing in the sense, what about the demand factor? The total connected load is increasing, nothing but why total connected load increasing? The individual subdivisions units values are increasing, that's why the total connected load is increasing, but the maximum demand is decreasing, therefore the demand factor is decrease.
decreases.
Right, now is it clear to understand the relation between demand factor and diversity factor?
Yes, sir.
Right, good. So next we will move on to load factor, the most important one, equal priority as demand and diversity factor. The third factor is load factor. One second, I will change the slide. Right, keep the side heading load factor. What happened to my marker? Okay. The next side heading is load factor. Once we will complete all these definitions and then move on to the classification of the loads. Okay, then what does it meant by the load factor? Note down the definition. It is the ratio of average load over a or divided by average load to the peak load or maximum load during a given time period. Peak load or maximum load over a given period during given period. So in that period we need to take the average load. That average load should be getting divided with the peak load. Here you can extend it, average load over a specified period of time. Right. So this value should be in general less than 1. Note down the next point. The load factor generally less than 1. Always less than 1. But this load factor again, it should be same from the load duration curve or from your characteristics of the load condition. We can calculate this load factor either on daily basis or on a monthly basis or as a annual basis. Okay, either any one category we can going to calculate either daily or monthly or annual basis. Okay, generally the maximum demand and average demand, nothing but your peak load and average load. So which one will be higher? The maximum demand is always higher, right? So the maximum demand is always higher in the sense the average load is lesser in the sense automatically the load factor will be falls under unity, right? Nothing but less than 1 simply, right? The average load. So average load in the sense if you take some the example in this one example for our home discount for our domestic purpose, there is one maximum or peak load you will be going to occur in a particular period of time. All right, during that period of time the complete average load while you are washing machine or a refrigerator something will be going to continuously on, but at a particular point it will achieve the peak load, right? So if you take the average load over that time period of let us take a duration of 2 hours, in that duration of complete 2 hours if you take the average load and the peak load, right, that ratio will be your load factor. So generally the load factor will be falls under less than 1. Why it is falls less than 1? Simply due to the maximum load or peak load is always greater than the average load, right? If higher the load factor, now tell me, generally first point you need to clear why we need to calculate this load factor. Note down why we need to calculate this load factor. Everyone have to know that why it should be going to make the analysis on the load factor in the sense in order to get the overall cost per unit what the generation is done. Note down it is used to determine, it is used to determine used to determine the overall cost per unit generated, the overall cost per unit generated. If you wanted to consider for annual purpose, then annual load factor formula will become as total annual energy, nothing but divided by total how much energy we are getting consumed, the average value, right? That should be divided by annual peak load, annual peak load for that load, nothing but how for how many hours you need to take during given period in the sense 365 into 24 hours, nothing but 8760 hours we need to consider if you wanted to calculate the annual load factor. Okay, done. The load factor. So here we go for a simple analysis. If the load factor is very much higher, load factor is higher value, then what about cost per unit? It will be going to increase or decrease. The peak load is decreasing, right? Peak load is decreasing in the sense if the peak load is decreasing in the sense what about load factor? Or if the peak load is increasing, you can take any of the factor, either increase or decrease. If the maximum load or peak load is increasing, what should going to happen for load factor? right? It should be going to inversely
Inversely
proportional.
proportional of sir.
Inversely
Decreases.
proportional. Good. It should be going to inversely proportional. So therefore, when the peak load should be goes on increase, the load factor is reduce. If the load factor is increasing, now I am considering the case of increasing higher. If the load factor is increasing in the sense the peak load is decreasing, right? Able to understand, the peak load is decreasing. So the peak load for our domestic or commercial, whatever the case you are considering the loads, if the peak load is decreasing in the sense, automatically the cost will be going to decrease, right? Able to understand it? The load, how much the equipment actually draws, right? That should we need to consider here. Understand me? Able to follow the point? A simple analysis part, all these factors we need to go for a simple analysis part, how the one factor to another factor is interrelated, and how the cost per unit should be going to increase or decrease based on these factors calculation. We need to come to one conclusion, right? These all are called the characteristics, load modeling and the characteristics. So that will be need to analyze by calculating all these demand factors, diversity factor, load factor, utilization factor, plant factor. These are the different kind of areas we need to analysis. Note down all of you. Screen, don't take any screenshots. Try to note down. We can also identify from this calculation of load factor, what should we can identify? Whether the consumer should be in the point of consumer, we need to calculating this load factor, we can identify how the consumer is effectively using his peak demand. That the case also we can go to analyze by the calculation of this load factor. Since whether it should be increasing or decreasing, we can have some conclusion that the peak load is increasing or decreasing. If the peak load is increasing in the sense the consumer is effectively utilizing, right? If the peak load is decreasing, there is no effective or efficient usage of the electricity at his area, right? If the load factor is decrease, we will go for another case also just to try to analyze this. If load factor is lower, then what is the problem we need to face? The peak load need to increase, the demand will be increase, we need to meet that demand. So the low factor is not feasible. The low load factor, that will be indicating that there is a high demand need to be set, right? If that is continuously persist, right? If that low value of the load factor is continuously present over a long time period, what are the issues we need to face? There should be higher cost of generations, cost will be increase, right? More expensive. That is the major issue we need to face. So generally, these billing, the tariff, what you learned in our power system, the tariff, simple tariff, two-part tariff, block rate tariff, there are different kind of tariffs will be there now. So fixed cost, running cost, by adding those two, maintenance charges, meter billing charges. So by adding a service tax, so by adding all these electrical rates will be going to again reflect with respect to the load factor. If higher is the load factor, in that case the charges will be automatically lesser for overall the kilowatt hours whatever we are getting consumed. So generally we can going to uh, prescribe these tariffs even by considering the account of these load factors. Let us take, there is some area which is having some higher load factor, some area in the sense not our like villages, what I am calling that area in the sense the industrial area, commercial area, domestic area, agricultural area. That is the area what the term I am indicating that. Okay, not our villages. So in that different areas, there is a different kind of consumers will be there. Let us take customer A, customer B, customer C, customer like that. We need to classify the consumers. So one consumer is having higher load factor. In another area, the consumer should be having the lower load factor. So based on that, we need to encourage the persons which are utilizing the load factor properly, right? Since based on that, we are going to structure our tariffs. That is price per kilowatt hour, nothing but unit per unit, cost per unit. With a certain load factor, if they maintain properly, then the cost per price per unit price will be going to reduce. That should be based on the slabs. We can simply call as a slab rates or block rates, right? Note down this load factor. Later we can go for the utilization factor. There is a two more factors. So by that we can conclude all these definitions. Next we can move on to the classification of the loads. Next side heading, utilization factor. So quickly note down. Next there are 2 to 3 definitions are there. Utilization factor. One moment more. Someone is there in waiting room. Utilization factor. It is the ratio of, I will write here, utilization factor or use factor. It is the ratio of maximum demand to rated capacity of the system. Maximum demand to rated capacity of the system. Or simply you can write it in terms of time of usage of the corresponding equipment. That is the time that equipment is in use, the time that the equipment is in use divided by the total time that it could be in use. The total time that it will be in use or it could be in use. Still, some of them are in waiting room. Praveen. Right. Utilization factor. Understand the definition. How we can calculate the utilization factor for the corresponding equipment. Time that the equipment is in use divided by total time that it could be in use. Or simply the maximum demand by rated capacity of the system. So that should be a little bit of confusion since we are using the word of maximum demand and rated capacities in everywhere in our previous definition. So you can go for this kind of definition. It is the ratio of time that the equipment is in use divided by total time that it will be in use. Is it clear for all of you or need to explain with any real-time example? Understand the definition? Note down quickly. The next side heading, plant factor. My utilization factor అర్థమైందా? How much time we are using divided by total time. If you consider a motor, right? ఏదైనా ఒక motor consider చేయండి. Let us take one motor which is operated some 10 hours or 8 hours. Let us take. If you are operating that motor, 8 hours per day, right? So let us take some 40 weeks or 20 weeks or 50 weeks. Let us take some 50 weeks. Then what is the total usage of that motor? What is the hours of operation? Total hours of operation? What is the hours of operation? Per day it should be 8. Let us take some around 2000 hours. Okay, let us think. Total 2000 hours we are utilizing, right? Per year. Per year you can consider per year. Right, then what about total time that it could be in use? 8760, nothing but 365 into 24. So if you take this ratio, how much you can obtain? Around 2 fours, 4, around 2 22%, right? Around 22%, that is the your utilization factor. Understand? If the base will be 8760, if the base value should be 2000 only, then what about your utilization factor? 100%. This is the base value. The base value you are considering for annual, and the equipment is in use for a certain period of time, that is a 2000 hours out of 8760 hours, then the utilization factor will become around 22%. No sir, I want to utilize that motor only for 2000 hours. The time period itself is the total utilization will be 2000 hours. That equipment is under usage, then it will be 2000 by 2000, the utilization factor will become 100%. Right? Next, keep another side heading, plant factor. These are the generalized definitions: utilization factor, plant factor, loss factor, coincidence factor. These are the general definitions, but the most important you need to understand was that demand factor, load factor, diversity factor. Very much important. Next, plant factor. Note down the definition: the actual energy generation to, it is the ratio of, it is the ratio of actual energy generation to maximum plant rating. Maximum plant rating. We can also call this plant factor as capacity factor. Capacity factor. If you consider for annual basis, then it will become as actual energy generation divided by maximum plant rating with respect to the 365 days, nothing but 8760. So note down the ratio of total actual energy generation are produced over a specified period of time when plant is operating at maximum rating. Right, done, noted. I think you are having a break.
Yes, sir.
10:30. Yes, sir. So what does it meant by the coincident maximum demand? Note down any demand that occurs in a simple sentence, any demand that occurs simultaneously with any other demand. Any demand that occurs simultaneously with any other demand, that is that what we can call that as a coincident demand. This sum of these coincident demands is called coincident maximum demand, right? Any demand that occurs, I will write here, any demand that occurs simultaneously with any other demand. Those two are called coincident demands. With any other demand, and the sum of any set of these coincident demands is called coincident maximum demand. Is called coincident maximum demand. Right? If there is a parallel occurrence of any one demand and another demand, these two will be called as a coincident demands. The sum of these two coincident demands will be called as a coincident maximum demand. Similarly, if the difference between some of these peak individual loads, right? If there is a two individual loads which are having at a certain particular period of time its own peak load, if the difference between these two peak loads is called load diversity, is called load diversity. Nothing but the difference between peak of two or more individual loads and the peak of this combined load is called as load diversity. Next, the last one we can conclude, coincidence factor. Coincidence factor, the last definition, the ratio of maximum, sorry, simply you can write like this now, the ratio of this coincident maximum demand by, you can note down, the ratio of coincident maximum demand by sum of individual maximum demands. It will be very much simpler to understand now. Sum of individual maximum demands. So coincident maximum demand divided by sum of individual maximum demands. మా ఒక్కసారి try to recall your diversity factor. What is the formula of diversity factor? One moment, we will finish it out. Just I want to interrelate again the coincidence factor with respect to diversity factor. Quickly, what is the definition of diversity factor or the formula to calculate diversity factor?
Maximum demand by total connected.
No, that is the demand factor. Sirisha, that is demand factor. Maximum demand by total connected load, that is demand factor. What I am asking is diversity factor. Nothing but sum
of individual maximum
Correct.
demand by maximum demand on power.
Sum of individual maximum demands by maximum demand of complete system or power station, right? So see, the denominator here and the numerator here both are same. So shall I make this as an inversely proportional relation? The coincidence factor is inversely proportional to diversity factor. Shall I conclude like this?
Yes, sir.
Right. So note down that conclusion and take the break of 15 minutes, and then we will get back by 10:45 or 10:50. Okay.